Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. And I wanted to do a video where I talk about what you should be farming right now. Again, this is now April 14th of 2023, so we just got news of the Leviathan coming to the game with the Darth Malgus ship, Sith Empire kind of getting that almost additional use that they don't have now. So what should you be farming? And I'm going to kind of structure this to say, if you're an early player, mid game, late game, end game, like, kind of cover each of those different sections of the game, guys. So let's dive right into our video. I want to give you the best information possible because I don't want people panicking thinking you need to get this, or that, right? So before we do that, you guys know the drill. We have to pay homage to our king, Wampa. If you guys want to see Wampa hit Relic 8 live on stream, all you need to do, get this channel to 5,000 subscribers. We hit 5,000 and Wampa will hit Relic 8, and I promise that that will be at a time that hopefully more of my subscriber base can join. So we'll plan some other fun things depending on what's going on then, guys. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment down below. Let's get into this video. Let's talk about what you should be farming. Alright, so in the early game, I 100% believe your best course of action is to get your bounty hunters up and get Executor. I don't see a better path in the game right now than bounty hunters into Executor. Now, when you're doing that, you also have to recognize that that's a long-term farm, so you want to build a foundation along the way. If you think of your roster like a house, the first thing you build in a house is that foundation, right? You lay that concrete slab, your foundation down. And a lot of times, you don't necessarily see the foundation that a house is built on, right? You won't ever see that foundation, but you know it's there, and without it, the house wouldn't be standing. And that's kind of those initial characters. And again, what I'm saying here is that, these characters are going to start out at gear 11. Now, you didn't know that in my roster. You didn't know that I started out with gear 8s. You just see that I have relics on all of them. But I built a foundation. So you want to build this foundation that then you can continually build your roster up and up and up. Because if you don't have that solid foundation, you're not going to succeed. So early on, right now in this game, you need to build your bounty hunter executors. And then I just have two other, your Commander Luke Skywalker, and build out your Imperial Trooper team with the investment you're making in Piet. You want to get the most out of him with Imperial Troopers. And then I have the Commander Luke Skywalker team because you're going to get Chewbacca if you're farming your bounty hunters. You're going to be able to unlock the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo. So then you've got two characters. Commander Luke's not hard to get, and you can start building that Rebel team pretty early on. So that's the early game. Your early game, get the Executor. That is the best advice I have for you. All right, so then the next, your next thing, right, is you're entering into that middle game. You want to be worrying about Galactic Legends then. You got Executor, you've got your best starting fleet with Executor. It's now time to think about what Galactic Legend to get. And I kind of say that Kylo and Jabba are your first two GLs in my opinion. Right now, I would lean more towards Kylo because I think he's a lot more accessible than Jabba. When Jabba's characters go 2 times, when they hit accelerated, I'm going to push that Jabba is your first Galactic Legend. I think they both fit pretty decently well with the Executor farm in terms of the bounty hunters, some of the other things that are needed. I just think they kind of flow together. The big thing with Jabba that... Give me 1 second. Dobby, stop it. I swear my cats, man, always act up during videos. What I want to say is the thing with Jabba, he is so important for the mod mission that I cannot... Come here. Everybody's gonna want to see you now. Come here. Alright, don't swat at me. I swear, guys, these cats. I'm telling you, no respect whatsoever. Alright, so back to regularly scheduled content. So Jabba's mod mission is so important that I think as the first Galactic Legend, he's just gonna boost your roster a lot. Kylo is definitely the easier of the two. But again, those are the first two. I don't have any complaints if those are your first two Galactic Legends. Your third Galactic Legend can really be anybody. I think Master Luke works really well with Jabba. They have a lot of the same requirements, especially because of Jedi Knight Luke. But if you go another direction, I'm not going to complain. A Galactic Legend's a Galactic Legend. I have my favorites, I have my reasons, but that doesn't mean that you can't convince me otherwise, because at the end of the day, it's your roster, you do what you want with it. But I think in that Executor first, get one of these two Galactic Legends, start building out some of those other teams. Again, I'm not going to say it, this GP, this. Like, you kind of see that, if you're in this middle game, you should be worrying about some Galactic Legends. Worry about building get those like high level teams done. Because when you have Executor, you've got a really good fleet, but you're lacking in that if somebody has a Galactic Legend, they're going to stick it down in your path and you might not be able to get through it. So that's what you're doing here, building those out. All right, Grand Inquisitor and Riva. This comes into play, I'd say, if you can check 2 boxes. One is that you're in a guild that's doing Rise of the Empire, and 2, you're in a guild that is earning Riva shards. That's something that your guild wants to make a priority. If you're in a guild where it's like, we don't really care if you get Riva, I wouldn't go out of your way to get Inquisitors until your guild is ready to push hard for Third Sister. This is something that I'm working on right now. I really think that this is a farm that I would be doing regardless right now. I think that this is something that they're just going to be that good. They're going to get me Scythe. They're going to make my Empire fleets better, so I definitely want to get my Inquisitors up and running. Now, I can't do a video like this and not talk about the Leviathan Fleet, but you guys understood exactly what I said about the Leviathan Fleet. And I did a video, I will link it in the video description below, talking about that you cannot panic right now. If you panic, you are going to waste resources that you don't have. We don't know what the other requirements for Leviathan are yet. We don't know what the other 2 ships are. We don't know enough information, so don't go and panic and try and rush Malgus, Malik, whatever, right? My advice is that if you're in a situation like myself, where you've got the Sith Empire, my Sith Assassin is my only non-relic Sith, just plan to take Conquest seriously, take the next farms that are coming seriously, and save some gear, save some relic mats, because you're going to need them. We just don't know in what level, what capacity, because somebody could very well, you could go in Relic 7, your Sith Assassin, and then they tell you that you need a Relic 9 Sith Empire Trooper or something, and it's going to set you back how much farther. So wait for those requirements to come out before you farm this. I think if I'm telling players what to do, you want to be farming their ships, you want to make sure you have the characters ready, but I would not be investing gear into any more than the ones you would use for Grand Arena. So that would be your Darth Revan, Darth Malak, Basti, Malgus, and then a Darth Talon, a Sith Marauder or something. Other than that, I would not be trying to throw gear at these guys until you know exactly what level you need them at. Otherwise, I think you could potentially be wasting gear. So my focus, if I'm telling people what to do, this is something to keep in the back of your head, but in the foreground, Grand Inquisitor, Riva needs to be in that forefront of your mind if you're in that, late game. I think in the mid game, you're still more in this Galactic Legends zone than you are worrying about Inquisitors. Again, that's my personal opinion. That doesn't mean that maybe your guild's pushing hard for Third Sister, so you're going to go do that. That's perfectly fine too. I don't think a lot of guilds benefit from Inquisitors as much as they do at Galactic Legends. So that's the big things as far as characters. I think that's kind of what I wanted to say about what you should be farming at this time. That if you're a late game, end game player, these are the play, right? That's what I think I would be doing. Now, in terms of stuff that you should be hoarding right now, your Kyratex, obviously, your relic materials, you want to be hoarding this stuff because you know that you're going to need it. But there's 2 other resources I want to really talk about. Your shipbuilding materials and your prestige. You want to be hoarding those you want to have an excess of those, because when these new ships get announced, you're going to need to take them from level 1 to level 85, which is significant, right? So a ground ship, if I come down here, I think I have, Lando's ship. So it's going to cost me 5 million credits just to level up that ship from 1 to 85. Capital ships take more. I think they're about 9 million. So it's a significant investment. You've got all the stars and everything else. My advice for everybody here is hoard your prestige, hoard your shipbuilding materials, hoard even your Omegas, hoard all this stuff that you need to gear up ships. The more of these materials you have, the better off you're going to be, because you don't know how much of them you're going to need and in what, and on what ships. So, that's my video, guys. I don't want to go into more depth than that. I think that perfectly covers it. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of clarity as to what I'm looking at, things that you should be looking to farm. I'm going to leave it here, guys. I love all of you. May the force be with you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.